call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. I want to acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory and the land on which we are meeting is the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the homeland of the Red River Métis Nation. As a council and municipality, we will continue to work on moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in the spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. I'll ask for a motion for the adoption of the minutes, please.
Resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council and the organizational meeting of council, both held at City Hall on November 10th, 2025, and the special meeting of council held virtually on November 28th, 2025, be adopted as circulated.
Moved by Councillor Doyle, seconded by Councillor Nichols. All those in favor? And that is carried. Just maybe before we start, I just should let all of our viewers know that it is Ugly Sweater Christmas Party night. Yeah, in case they're wondering out there, happy holidays. Okay, so we have no delegations and no public hearings. We'll move right into Finance, Legislative, and Property Committee. Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Worship and colleagues. First item this evening under Finance is the 2026 fees and charges. You may recall at committee we had this report. I just want to point out one thing before I go into the report, that we had a change, an update since then on solid waste collection fee. That fee was updated from the last committee, so you'll notice in this in your attachment that fee was adjusted. Administration has completed a review of the current fees and charges schedule and compiled recommendations for the 2026 fees and charges schedule. And the schedule is attached with all fee changes clearly identified. The recommended changes: number one, solid waste tags. Those changes to the solid waste collection program has been eliminated. The need for the sale of waste tags. Administration is recommending removing the fees associated with the sale of this item. Number two, rental rates for equipment. Changes to these rates are determined by adjustments to the hourly rental fee for the equipment and the associated labor costs. And number three, language used in the fees and charges has been updated to reference fees that are approved through bylaws. And as I mentioned, the solid waste fee was also adjusted since the committee report you received. So the recommendation is that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie approve the 2026 fees and charges.
Moved by Councillor Massey, seconded by Councillor Meyer. Any questions or comments from anyone? All those in favor? And that is carried. City Planning and Economic Development Committee, Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Your Worship. City Planning and Economic Development Committee has nothing to report at this point in the meeting.
Thank you. Community Services Committee, Councillor Espy.
Thank you, Your Worship. The Community Services Committee has nothing to report.
Thank you. Waterworks Committee, Councillor Nichols.
Thank you, Your Worship. Waterworks Committee has nothing to report.
Thank you. Transportation Committee, Councillor Porter.
Thank you, Your Worship. Transportation has nothing to report.
Thank you. Public Safety Committee, Councillor Doyle.
Thank you, Your Worship. The Public Safety Committee has nothing to report at this point in the meeting.
Thank you. We have no deferred business. We'll move right into new business. We have our October financial statements. Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Your Worship. Colleagues, in your package you have for your information this evening the October 2025 financial statements. It's just for information, no resolution with this report. I do want to point out one item that you'll notice that in the there is a bit of a temporary deficit showing in the operating. The reason for that is the delay in getting our urban policing grant. So when you see that number, it's not, it's going to be adjusted once we get the grant. But that's just for your information at this point, why the change there.
Thank you. Any questions of that, anyone? Okay. Next item of new business, the 2026 interim operating and capital budget. Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Your Worship. And colleagues, this evening we are to authorize the 2026 interim operating and capital budgets. As you know, before the budget is approved, administration is not authorized to spend funds during the year, and The adoption of an interim budget grants the necessary approval for administration to operate until the full budget is adopted. This aligns with Section 163 of the Municipal Act, which states a council may adopt an interim operating budget to remain in effect until the council adopts the operating budget for the fiscal year, which we will be doing later next year, early in the year. I'm not going to go through all the requests here, but basically you'll see under general fund the various interim appropriations we're looking for, and under the utility fund also the interim budget we're looking for approval this evening. I would move that Council of the City of Portage la Prairie approve the 2026 interim budgets as follows: $6.3 million for operating and $1.6 million for capital budgets for the general operating fund, and $5.2 million for operating and $2.2 million for capital budget for the utility operating fund.
Moved by Councillor Massey, seconded by Councillor Meyer. Any questions or comments on this? Councillor Massey?
Thank you, Worship. Just a question, maybe of interest to my colleagues. Is there to administration, is there a sort of a guideline of what percent of you can use for an interim of your total budget? Is there any guidelines in the Act that, how far can we go on interim?
Mr. Goda?
Through your worship to Councillor Massey, it's just discretionary, so we do our best to come up with reasonable numbers that'll carry us through till the budget is officially passed.
Does that help? Yep. Any other questions? No? All those in favor? And that is carried. Okay. Next item of new business is the 2025 projects in progress. Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Your Worship. This evening, colleagues, we are to authorize the transfer of the 2025 operating funds to reserve accounts to fund completion of projects in progress in 2026. And as you're aware, at year end, some capital projects remain incomplete due to factors beyond the city's control, such as weather conditions, delays from funding partners, or vendor scheduling. When projects are funded through reserves, the remaining funds can be carried forward and included in next year's budget. However, when projects are funded by operating funds, this option is not available. In such cases, the remaining operating funds must either be rebudgeted in the following year or transferred to the appropriate reserve accounts to earmark them for project completion. The following 2025 operating funds will be transferred to reserves to complete them in 2026, and you'll see there under the utility reserve $567,003 for projects to be completed. In the general reserve, $114,947, and these are for the projects outlined there to be completed in 2026. I would move that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie approve the transfer of $567,003 from the 2025 utility operating funds to the utility reserve and $114,947 from the 2025 general operating funds to the general reserve to complete 2025 projects in 2026.
Moved by Councillor Massey, seconded by Councillor Meyer. Any questions or comments on that? Pretty clear? Okay. All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Okay, next item of new business, Council Conference Professional Development and Meeting Policy. Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Your Worship and colleagues. This evening we are to look at our policy on Council Conference Professional Development and Meetings Policy. And the issue here is to establish a clear policy that provides fair and transparent guidelines for elected officials' participation in conferences, professional development opportunities, and meetings that support them in their role as the city's strategic priorities. So as you know, we asked administration to bring forward a policy for our review, which they've done this evening. The policy was drafted, and the key elements are as follows. Number one, each member of council shall be entitled to attend both the spring and fall AMM conventions each year during their term. Secondly, the mayor shall be eligible to attend the FCM conference each year. Thirdly, each elected official shall be provided an annual budget to support their attendance at any additional conferences, training sessions, meetings, or other professional development opportunities that directly support their role on council or their assigned portfolios. Fourth, an annual advocacy budget will be established for the mayor's use to attend events that support them in their role or the city's strategic priorities. The mayor may draw upon this budget or authorize a designate to do so for attendance at meetings, delegations, or public engagements undertaken on behalf of the city. A recommendation for the amounts to be included in the 2026 budget will be provided to council during the budget deliberations, along with the report on the impact on taxes. The recommendation, and I would so move, is that the council of the city of Portage la Prairie hereby approve policy CL-AX, council conference, professional development, and meetings.
Moved by Councillor Massey, seconded by Councillor Meyer. Any questions or comments? Councillor Meyer?
Thank you, Your Worship. I will certainly be supporting this resolution, but I just wanted to, for the record, briefly explain why. I've been fortunate enough to be on this council going into 8 years, and I've attended a number of these throughout the years, and I do understand that there's a cost to it. I know it's been said at different times throughout the different years that that council gets certain types of perks, and although there may be an unassociated perk with this, I really strongly believe that when we sometimes come into this position, we don't always have the experience that's needed in real life. In my professional life, I go through professional development on a continuous basis in order for me to do my job properly. I strongly advocate for this type of stuff because it gives us as individual counselors the opportunity to learn so that we can best represent our community in each one of whatever our assigned portfolios are. And for that reason alone, I will certainly be supporting it, but I did, for the record, just want to explain why. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you. Councillor Massey?
Thank you, Your Worship. I also want to mention a few comments about this policy. I will be supporting it. I think this council has done a great job here in being open and transparent with our citizens about conferences and what we attend. I know I get asked, you go to things, what do you spend there? This is all going to be public, what we attend, what we spend on conferences. And I agree with Councillor Meyer. I think professional development of us as elected officials is very important, so I'm really pleased. I really like the mayor having a budget for lobbying and to attend things. This is part of the mayor's role on behalf of the city and shouldn't be having to scramble to find $1 to go to Ottawa if she needs to, or into the legislature or wherever to do lobbying and advocacy for the city. So I really like that part. And I also like, that the onus is on us as individual councillors to manage our budget. So if we want to go to AMM or FCM or something with our portfolios, public safety with Councillor Doyle or economic development with Councillor Meyer, we have a budget for that. So I think this is a great policy. I commend staff for bringing this forward the way they did. And I think the other thing I like is it's very open and transparent. We're not going to be able to take dollars and I can't give my dollars to Councillor Meyer. It's my budget. I'm responsible. And then at the end of the day, if people want to question me on why I went to a conference, it's very open and transparent. So I like the policy, and I think this is a good, open, transparent guideline and policy for our council. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think it says there, this is the policy that we are voting on tonight, but the dollar amount in that will come as we budget deliberate, right, later on. So this is a first step forward. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. Okay. I feel that the meeting just before Christmas is always Joe's meeting. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Next item, new business, purchase of fire equipment, 2011 Spartan pumper. Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Your Worship and colleagues. These are exciting items, Your Worship. I'm just thrilled in dealing with this good stuff that our city is doing. This evening, Council, we are to look at approving the purchase and funding of a 2011 Spartan pumper. And in the analysis, you'll see administration is recommending the purchase of a 2011 Spartan pumper from the City of Dauphin. We put a bid of $285,000 and was submitted by the November 14 deadline and are currently awaiting formal decision. Should the city be successful, this acquisition would replace fire engine number 3. Fire engine number 3, built in 2005, is scheduled for renewal in 2029 under our current financial plan with an estimated replacement of $1.4 million. The 2011 Spartan pumper is a very good condition with maintenance kept up to date. And acquiring this unit now would allow the city to manage future major equipment purchases for the department more strategically, preventing multiple large expenditures in a short time frame. This is particularly important as our aerial truck is scheduled for renewal in 2030 with an estimated cost of $2.7 million. As you know, the city did receive a grant of $700,000 from the province, which we appreciate very much, for the procurement of the 1999 rescue apparatus, which has provided financial flexibility. This allows funds from the fire reserve that were previously targeted toward that purchase to be reallocated to the potential acquisition of the Spartan pumper. It's estimated that the cost of having the pumper deckled and upfitted to meet departmental needs would be approximately $15,000, bringing the total cost of this purchase to $300,000. Administration recommends funding this acquisition through the fire reserve. Therefore, I would move that the City of Portage la Prairie authorize the purchase of a 2011 Spartan pumper from the City of Dauphin for a bid price of $285,000 as well as $15,000 for deckling and upfitting to meet departmental requirements for a total cost of $300,000 to be funded through our fire reserve should our bid be successful.
Moved by Councillor Massey, seconded by Councillor Meyer. Any questions or comments? I have Councillor Nichols.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd just like to take the opportunity. I think this is a really good forward plan in terms of, jumping in partway through the budget to cover off a piece of equipment that is obviously very worthy and what we need for the period of time that it's going to serve. And I just think it's a novel idea, and it's a great way to put us a few years forward. And yeah, I appreciate this work.
Just
Therefore, we'll be supporting that motion going forward. Thank you, Your Worship, and sorry about that.
You're sure? Okay, thanks. Do we know how many years of service we expect out of this? Is it 10? Yeah, wasn't in the report, but I feel that I heard maybe. Could you find that and get back to us on that? I don't need to know today. I was just curious. Yeah, thank you. Okay, if nothing else, all those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. New business, banking services, Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Your Worship and colleagues. This evening we are to approve the city's financial institution providing our banking services. The City of Portage is not legally required to undertake a formal RFP for the selection of a financial institution. However, in keeping with principles of due diligence and fiscal responsibility, administration recently conducted a comprehensive review of interest rates available for municipal accounts. This review involved contacting financial institutions with local branches and obtain rates and assess the overall value offered. The result of the review confirmed that Stride Credit Union continues to provide the most competitive interest rates for the city's banking needs. In addition to the favorable rates, the city benefits from a long-standing and positive relationship with Stride Credit Union, with no concerns regarding the quality or reliability of the services provided. The city is also not charged service fees for its accounts with Stride Credit Union, which contributes to overall cost effectiveness and operational efficiency. Maintaining the existing banking relationship avoids transition-related costs that would be incurred if the city were to change financial institutions. These costs include software integration, staff training, and the procurement of new checks and banking supplies. Given the financial and operational advantages, administration supports the continued use of Stride Credit Union for the city's banking services. And to ensure the city continues to receive optimal value, administration recommends conducting a comparative review of financial institutions every 5 years. This timeline allows for regular evaluation while minimizing administrative burden. However, should the level of service received no longer align with the city's expectations, or should market conditions warrant a more immediate review, administration would initiate reassessment sooner. Therefore, I would move that the council approve the continuation of banking services with Stride Credit Union as the city's financial institution.
Moved by Councillor Massey, seconded by Councillor Meyer. Any questions or comments? Councillor Massey?
Thank you, Worship. I want to, as Finance Chair, want to speak in favor of this recommendation. I think we've had a very good relationship with Stride and my dealings as well from the Finance Chair. Our staff seem very happy with the work. We've done a lot of business lately with them in terms of our debentures. But I like the fact that if things change, we will do a review and do it even before the 5 years if necessary. So we're going to keep them honest. We're going to make sure we continue to get the good service. But I'm pleased that we're able to continue the relationship with Stride. So I support this.
Thank you. Anything else? All those in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Next item of new business, request to submit, review, and vary Public Utilities Board Order Number 13925. Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Worship. This evening, we are to obtain Council's approval to submit a review and vary request to the Public Utilities Board regarding our Board Order 139/25, which approved the debenture surcharge for the Saskatchewan Avenue project in order to defer implementation date so it aligns with the new utility rates proposed under our bylaw number 258781. You may recall on June 23rd, 2025, we approved the submission to the Public Utilities Board to obtain approval for funding the installation of new water and wastewater lines along Saskatchewan Avenue West through a debt surcharge. And when the city applied for the Saskatchewan Avenue West debenture surcharge, the intent was it to take effect at the same time as the new utility rates proposed under bylaw 25-8781. However, PUB order number 139/25 approved the surcharge with an effective date of January 1, 2026, while year one of the proposed new utility rates is scheduled for January 1, 2027, and remains subject to PUB approval. Implementing the surcharge a year earlier would be inconsistent, and this is very important, with what we communicated to utility customers. The Saskatchewan Avenue West debt is currently funded by the utility. The city has been able to manage the debenture costs without creating a deficit, and administration has confirmed that it will be able to continue to do so in 2026. Deferring the surcharge by 1 year would delay recovery of 2026 costs, but this approach maintains consistency with prior communications. The PUB has advised that a review and vary request is the appropriate mechanism to adjust the effective date, and that the submission should include a council resolution and supporting rationale. Therefore, I would move that the City of Portage la Prairie request that the PUB review and vary PUB Order 139/25 to change the effective date of the debenture surcharge for the Saskatchewan Avenue West project coming into effect from January 1, 2026 to the year 1 implementation date for new utility rates proposed in bylaw 25-8781.
Moved by Councillor Massey, seconded by Councillor Meyer. Any questions or comments on this one? Pretty straightforward. All those in favor? That is carried. You can take a little break there, Councillor Massey. You're welcome. Next item of new business, the October building reports. Yes, Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Your Worship. I know Councillor Massey is a hard act to follow. The building reports, of course, as council knows, for the years that I've been doing it, it is the most exciting report that I ever see come across my desk. As usual, you're going to see the report specifically for the city and the RM, and as usual, I do reference, of course, the combined. We are a regional organization, and every year we look at it from a regional perspective. So what you're going to see is, again, a little bit different from last year, but follows the same pattern that is followed throughout the current year. You're going to see a bit of an increase in new single housing permits, which, again, shows a sign of increased growth, whether it be in the city or the RM. You are going to see some increases in the repairs for this year, right? Maybe, and we'll quickly talk about comparison to last year, but it just goes to show you that that pattern is repeating itself. Residential users are putting dollars back into their homes, which is a sign of a healthy community. From a commercial perspective, you're going to see the same scenario happen. There's a number of new permits for the year. It's a little slightly behind where it was last year. Repair is slightly behind again where it was last year, but it has a higher dollar value as well. Once again, from a commercial perspective, repair is important because, again, it shows commercial owners putting money back into their businesses, into their buildings, again, which as well is a sign of a healthy, growing community. Industrial follows the same pattern. Institutional, of course, as you're going to notice, is the biggest change, and as I think I've said every month, if you take the hospital out of it and extrapolate the numbers, it's very similar to where it was. Repair is up in that aspect as well, and I won't comment on the farm buildings as those are primarily in the RM. But you'll also see that the RTMs and the moving of RTMs, it's a cottage industry, continues to thrive as well, although the numbers aren't where they were last year. We still have a couple of 3 months left in this, I guess this is October's report, sorry. So 2 months left in 2025. Where it's going to end up will be very similar to where it was last year in permit numbers, although we know the dollar value is going to be down. So once again, as usual, I do certainly want to thank not only PRED as a lead department on economic development. Of course, this comes from the planning district that works continuously. And one last reminder, Your Worship, for anybody that is planning to do any kind of repairs, any kind of maintenance, additions, renovations, please a 20-second phone call to the planning district and they'll be able to lead you the right way on whether you would need a permit or not. So overall, I'm very happy to see the numbers where they're at and to see the trend continue the way it has been. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you. No questions? Okay. Next item of new business, approval of the 2026 emergency plan. Councillor Doyle.
Thank you, Your Worship. The issue at hand tonight is whether or not to approve the 2026 emergency plan for the city of Portage la Prairie. So the Manitoba Emergency Measures Organization mandates that all municipalities in Manitoba submit their municipal emergency response plan annually by December 31st. The emergency plan has been reviewed and updated by administration, and the plan is included in the agenda for council's review, but is not available for public viewing due to some confidential information. So the administrative recommendation, and I would move that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie approves the 2026 emergency plan and authorizes administration to send the city's emergency plan and accompanying resolution to the Manitoba Emergency Measures Organization.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Doyle, seconded by Councillor Massey. Any questions or comments on that? Councillor Massey?
Thank you, Your Worship. I know I've done a lot of talking, but it's a very important plan that I want to ask administration a question on. Number one, I know we had the wildfires this summer, and did we have to institute our emergency plan at any time? And secondly, I know the changes are more minor in nature. Is there going to be maybe administration looking at a more comprehensive review of the plan going forward?
Mr. Coda.
Through Your Worship to Councillor Massey, thank you for that. To your question about the wildfire response, we didn't formally activate the emergency plan, but there were elements where we brought together a group of people to support the evacuees within our community. And for the review of the plan, yes, we are planning for 2026 to do a larger overhaul. This one was a little bit more administrative, updating contact information and things of that nature, but 2026 we do plan to walk through it and really identify whether it's meeting all of our needs and is something that we're able to roll out quickly and efficiently if the need arises.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. All those in favor? That is carried. Okay, we have one item of old business, the second reading of utility rates bylaw 25-8781. Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Worship and colleagues. This evening, we're looking to have Council's approval for amendments to Schedule A of Bylaw 25-8781 for the 2027 to 2030 utility rates to include provisions for utility customers billed on a monthly basis and to give second reading to the bylaw before submitting the amendments to the Public Utilities Board as part of the current rate application. And as you know, the PUB is an independent quasi-judicial administrative tribunal with broad oversight and supervisory authority over public utilities as established by statute. In reviewing approving the utility rates, the PUB considers both the financial sustainability of the utility and the impact on customers. In 2024, the City of Portage engaged Way to Go Consulting to conduct a comprehensive utility rate study. The city currently determines utility rates by forecasting future costs and applying a proportional percentage increase to existing rates. This percentage is applied uniformly across all rate steps over a 4-year period, 2027 to 2030, culminating in the target rate by 2030. This methodology, which diverges from the standard PUB guidelines, was formally approved in PUB Order 133-21, where the board accepted the city's rationale for using an alternative approach. The next set of proposed water and wastewater rates is scheduled to take effect January 1, 2027. These rates include the Saskatchewan Avenue West surcharge, which we just discussed recently, but exclude the anticipated surcharge related to the water treatment plant upgrade and expansion debentures. The water treatment surcharge will be subject to a separate PUB application and approved process once the construction costs are finalized. A detailed analysis of the city's utility operations was conducted by the consultant, resulting in a final recommendation for rate adjustments. Consultations with industrial customers, the RM Portage la Prairie and Yellowhead Regional Water Co-op were held to review the proposed rates, which include allocations to reserves for future and necessary capital investments. The primary driver of the proposed rate increases is the rise of operating costs for water purification and treatment costs associated with the planned water treatment plant upgrade and expansion. Additionally, the city aims to increase its annual utility reserve to $4 million, up from $3.5 million in the 2020 rate study, to ensure adequate funding for future infrastructure needs. I won't read the table below, but you can see the impact of the proposed rates on a typical household's quarterly utility bill. First reading was given on July 14th, 2025, and the application was submitted to the PUB following the approval. Administration identified an amendment that is required to Schedule A, Clause 5, which will provide for monthly billing of customers consuming more than 4,546 cubic meters of water per quarter, and those customers are charged a wastewater surcharge. This is in alignment with the city's existing practices and ensures that the bylaw includes provision for these users. Following second reading of the bylaw, it will be submitted to the PUB for inclusion with our current rate application. I would move, therefore, that the bylaw number 25-8781, Schedule A, Clause 5, be amended to provide for monthly billing of customers consuming more than 4,546 cubic meters of water per quarter. And that bylaw 25-8781 being a bylaw of the City of Portage la Prairie for the 2027 to 2030 utility rates be given second reading as amended this evening.
Moved by Councillor Massey, seconded by Councillor Meyer. Any questions or comments on that, anyone? No? All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. We will adjourn council at 6:34 p.m. and move right into committee. Call committee to order at 6:34 p.m. Finance, Legislative, and Property Committee, Councillor Massey.
Thank you for having me go first, Your Worship.
You're welcome.
One thing under finance that I want to highlight, particularly for the public, is that our city offices will be closed December 24th at 12 p.m., December 25th, obviously for Christmas, 26th, Boxing Day, December 31 at 12 p.m., and January 1st. Regular office hours will resume on Friday, January the 2nd. That's the report from finance. So I have a few others.
Thank you. Thank you. City Planning and Economic Development Committee, Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Worship. City Planning and Economic Development Committee has nothing to report in committee unless any of my respected colleagues have something to say underneath this portfolio. Seeing none, it's the end of my report.
I'm going to put something.
Oh, I
one thing.
apologize.
I'm just
sorry, Madam
No,
Mayor.
that's okay. I think under here, I think it would be really, I'd like to just give a kudos to our Chamber of Commerce for the career fair that they put on that was so very well attended, job fair, career fair, and I just think good of them to take the lead and work with the high school on that, and I just hope it's something that continues because it gave a lot of opportunity, and I know that the city was there all day long talking to students and public, and yeah, so kudos to them. Thank you. Community Services Committee, Councillor Espy.
Thank you, Your Worship. Off the top here, I would like to extend a big thank you to the Portage Rotary Club and the Chamber for putting on the Parade of Lights that was Friday night.
It was fun. Largest ever.
Largest ever. Next up, through Your Worship, I'd like to call upon our youth counselor to talk about an upcoming event.
Thank you, Councillor Espy, and thank you, Your Worship. And through Your Worship to Council, I was planning on doing a student meet the council event on Friday at West Park, so December 12th. It'll start at around 11:20. And we'll go on for about an hour, so it should end at about 12:20. And yeah, and it's for just the students, so it's not open to the public. I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Lordship.
We're looking very forward to it.
Thank you for that, and I will be there as well. The 2025 Holiday Lights Contest is underway. All you have to do is decorate your home and/or property and register your address on the holiday tour map found on our city website. The deadline for entries is this Wednesday, December the 10th. Judging for the top 5 submissions will take place on Thursday, December 11th by a special team that has been assembled to do that. And the top 5 will be posted on our Facebook page for public voting between December 12th and 16th. And the winner will receive a City of Portage la Prairie gift package.
Thank you. I think there's going to be lots of good submissions because Chris Brown from Cross Border Network came through our community on his way to AMM and could not get over the Christmas cheer here. He said he was ready to move here. So, yeah, awesome.
And of course, I have to mention the Prairie Unity Powwow that is taking place December 19th to 21st. It is a free event happening at Stride Place. I hope to see everyone there, and it is open to everyone. So please come out. That is going to be an amazing event, and the city will be extra full over that weekend.
Yeah, lots of economic, what's it, off? No, spin off? Impact is the right word. And I think the grand entry on Friday night is scheduled for 7 p.m.
I believe it is, yes.
with lots of special guest dignitaries in attendance from our province.
Yeah, and you can come and go all weekend. It's a free event, and there will be stuff happening all day Saturday and all day Sunday as well.
Awesome.
And through your worship, I'd like to call upon Councillor Massey for a few items.
Thank you, Councillor Espy. A couple of items just in my role as Deputy Mayor. I was pleased to attend the opening of an art exhibit at the Prairie Fusion of Earth and Sky by Ms. Pierrette Sherwood. 30 works of beautiful art made from farm equipment, and just it was quite something to see that display. I think it's still there, and I really got to talk to her a little bit about her art, and she was a lovely person to talk to, and she was so impressed with the Prairie Fusion where the art was displayed in that room there. So, and also on Prairie Fusion, I brought greetings to the Boots and Bull Social. No, I did not go on the bull. I know the mayor wanted a picture of that, but I just couldn't do it. But lots of boots, and I won't repeat why Joe Massey was there for the other part of the social, but it was a great fundraiser, Boots and Bull Social. So great to see Prairie Fusion and our community come together there as well. A couple other things. I did have a Hospital Foundation board meeting recently, and we continue to work through our strategic plan, but very pleased that the gala did very well. It raised $155,000. And of course, we continue to really accelerate our communication. And with the new hospital coming, I think it's just having this foundation. I can see firsthand how great it is for our community here in our region. So we awarded 5 more projects. You'll be hearing about those from the foundation. So things to supplement and add the quality of healthcare for our new hospital. And just speaking of lights, I, like others, attended the beautiful holiday project at the library, Lights Project. Gorgeous. That whole back there is just beautiful. Mm-hmm. And of course, I was pleased to be here when the city and council and mayor and council had the Christmas tree lighting of City Hall, and to see the City Hall lit up again, that was just beautiful again. You're right, the city is just looking amazing this time of year. So with that, that's my report, Your Worship.
Thank you.
And finally, I'd like to call upon Councillor Nichols for a Community Futures Heartland presentation.
Thank you, Councillor Espy, and through your worship to committee. I get the great opportunity to sit on a board with Community Futures Heartland District here in Portage la Prairie on behalf of the city. And they've put together, if I can turn your attention to the agendas, and it may be up on the screen here, you'll see, and it'll be there for those to see. They've put together a real neat dashboard describing, as we go through it from left to right, the number of loans by community within our region, loan balance by industry. It's a really good, and then also account balance by fund. So it gives you charting on that. Value of loans by community. It gives you a very good snapshot of the communities within the region that call on the services of Heartland. And also client demographics, and then there's a list of board members there. I must say that Community Futures are working very hard down there. Not only the services they provide to new entrepreneurs is wonderful. Existing businesses that are already into their services now, they support them in training and all new aspects. Then it's very well done. Also, businesses that are growing, and that they're a great service in terms of providing that growth ability for businesses. And I can't emphasize the amount of work that's going into training and coaching through, whether it's new entrepreneurs or existing. So hats off to Heartland. This gives council something that I can bring forward for a snapshot in how they're doing business and where they are today in terms of Heartland. So there it is for your perusal. Thank you. Thank you, Worship, and thank you, Councillor Espy.
Thank you.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Waterworks Committee, Councillor Nichols.
Thank you, Worship. I nothing to report in terms of committee, but I would like to wish all our staff at Waterworks and Water Pollution Control a wonderful Christmas. It's been, this weather's bringing in some realisms and some new things with the plants, but I would like to extend a Merry Christmas and season greetings to those folks, and as well, anyone that may wish to talk about our water or water pollution control. I'm here for that now as well. And thank you.
Thank you. Transportation Committee, Councillor Porter.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a few things here. First of all, I'd like everybody to watch for their new 2026 garbage collection schedule that's going to be delivered soon. If you don't receive one in the mail by December 31st, you can call the operations department at 204-239-8346. And beginning January 2nd, 2026, they can be viewed on our city website. Secondly, the second free bulky waste pickup, it's hard to believe that we're on our second one already, will take place December 29th, 2025 through to January 5th of 2026. Residents can place large items at the curb during this time on the regular collection day, and items must weigh less than 100 pounds. Heavier items must be disposed of privately. So that's December 29th to January 5th of 2026. The city, lastly, the city of Portage la Prairie will once again be recycling Christmas trees, and these trees may be placed on the boulevard in front of your residence and will be picked up between January 2nd of 2026 and January 23rd of 2026. Trees may or may not be picked up on your regular scheduled garbage day. You can drop your tree off at the burn site located behind St. Mary's Cemetery, where the trees will be picked up for recycling. And that's the cemetery that's on your way out to Southport on the east side. The burn site is open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. And if you need any more information on the tree site, you can call operations again, operations department at 204-239-8346. And that's all I have. Lastly, a little off topic, I'd just like to wish council and mayor and everybody else in the room and all our departments that we work really hard together to make Portage the city that it is. Merry Christmas, all the best in the new year, and everybody drive safe. Use if you're drinking, use Red Nose or find an alternate route to go home, and we'll see you all in the new year. Thank you.
Thank you. Public Safety Committee, Councillor. Oh, sorry, did you want to?
Sorry, can I ask a question regarding solid waste collection?
Sure.
Through administration, or through your worship to administration, in previous years with solid waste collection at the holiday season, there was additional pickup before the rollaway carts came into play. I'm just wondering if there will be an additional pickup this year with the new system.
Ms. LaQuijobin?
So in the past we allowed an additional 2 bags between Christmas and New Year's, because the new bins actually can hold quite a bit more. We are no longer going to be offering that, but we will have the bulky waste right after Christmas. So if you have any large items that you're trying to get rid of, that would be the time.
Perfect, thank you.
Councillor Porter?
Just like to add one thing, though. If you did have extra garbage, that would be the time to put it out on the bulky waste.
Thank you. Public Safety Committee, Councillor Doyle.
Thank you, Your Worship. Public Safety Committee has nothing to report this evening. I've been racking my brain all evening trying to figure out how I was going to throw in the fact that Councillor Massey's wearing 2 sets of suspenders this evening. But I can't think of anything clever enough, so I'm just going to say it. I have nothing else to report.
I thought maybe you would reiterate the use of Central Safe Ride.
Well, now that you mention it. Yes. Councillor Porter had mentioned it in her report, but yes, Central Plains Safe Ride, also known as Operation Red Nose here in Portage, runs every Friday and Saturday between now and Christmas, and also on New Year's Eve as well. So if you are drinking and you want to get yourself and your vehicle home safely, you can call Operation Red Nose. It is a totally free service. They obviously welcome donations. All of the donations stay locally right here in Portage, right here in the Central Plains area for youth groups. So it's a great cause that you're also donating to. Outside of that, you can always find a way home without drinking and driving. So
Mhm.
please do not get behind the wheel. Our RCMP will be out, making sure people are doing so. So don't risk it. It's not worth your life. It's not worth someone else's life.
Good point. Um, and are you doing Operation Red Nose?
That's what I was just going to add. I will be, along with Councillor Meyer and third person yet to be determined, putting in a team for Operation Red Nose. We had officially challenged the RM of Portage Council to do the same at the Red Nose kickoff. And we are also going the same night as Southport Aerospace Center. So we're going to make it a bit of a friendly challenge, see who can raise more money. And Operation Red Nose is always looking for more volunteers. So if you are available to volunteer, please go to the RCMP detachment. Let them know you are there for a criminal record check for volunteering for Operation Red Nose. They will ask you to choose the dates you're available. And then Leo from Operation Red Nose will get in touch with you regarding the date you have chosen to line it up for you.
Yeah, I think it's very important to point out that with some of the challenges that got put out was that the school board did their evening the other evening. And so now City has their team and Southport has their team. Hopefully the RM has got their team in there. So we'll have to double check. Councillor Meyer?
A little bit of pressure on them. I'm all good for that kind of leverage. And can you want to tell everybody what our date is?
Our date is December 20th. It's a Saturday. And so when you call Operation Red Nose, make sure you ask for the City of Portage team, because no one will keep you entertained on your drive home more than Councillor Meyer, myself, and third person yet to be determined.
It's the team of Doyle, Meyer, and TBD.
So I'm guessing the third person is bringing the jokes. Oh!
I'll leave it out.
Okay, everyone. I will just, hi. I think we have an addition. Ms. Kozar.
Can I just add one thing under public safety?
Sure.
The RCMP did approach PCRC because they wanted to do Cram the Cruiser.
Yes.
So on December 11th, they will be outside co-op from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And co-op has actually pledged to match any co-op food donations up to $1,000. So any Sensible brands, co-op and co-op gold products.
Okay, good to know. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So we were very happy to help them plan the event, and the Salvation Army will receive all the donations.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, so that I just would like to say to everybody in this room, including our media who come all year long to these meetings, is that I hope everyone has a very safe and happy holiday season. 2025 has been an exciting year for our community. Lots of exciting things happening, lots of change, lots of, progress in areas that we know we needed to move on. So I think everybody in this room should be proud of the work that they've done and the way that we're moving forward. I just think that our team with the city is just amazing. You around this table are the leaders of that. And so I hope we just continue into 2026, bringing Portage la Prairie into new exciting things. The opening of our new hospital will be one of those. And so best wishes. Have a great holiday season, everyone. Thank you. I'll adjourn the meeting at 6:54.